Hey there folks, this is David on David's Brain. Welcome back to our ongoing Let's Play of Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster for the PS4 on PS5. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, and contribute to my Patreon links in the description at the bottom. Alright, last time we took care of Chiaki as the ball avatar, and we got everything all prepped up to face Kagutsuchi, but there's still some things I need to take care of. Like, for example, I still need to master all these Magatama here, so I can get that trophy off my chest here. And yeah, also still gotta get all those, about 100 gifts from demons. Still not sure what I'm doing wrong there, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, aside from that, yeah, I've been busy. Although, let me tell you, if you're grinding out for everything to get all these trophies, merciful difficulty is a godsend. Not only does the XP rate increase exponentially, but so does the encounter rate. But you can still use Ribrima or a attract pipe to go and lure in some of the higher level demons around in the tower. All right. Anyways, yeah, managed to fuse Metatron, Trumpeter, and let's see. Oh yes, Beelzebub, and oh yeah, managed to get Vishnu. Oh yeah, managed to use normal Beelzebub by getting myself cursed and just using that little exploit. Yeah, leveled up, used my Asiel, downgraded him to Sort, then bumped him up to Beelzebub and Mon, etc. And yeah, I leveled up Barong and Rangda. And yeah, I got my Black Frost back. And yep, I finally, with Metatron and Beelzebub in my possession, I went back down to the Labyrinth of Amala and managed to get the special Garabakala that has Pierce. And we're going to fuse it with the Shiva. Fuse it to make Shiva.
Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather. Oh? All right.
All right, Barong and Rangda. Alright, let's see here. Boltstorm. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be giving him Endure, Trade, because yeah, you'll be able to get some items. Debilitate. And yeah, most important of all, Pierce. Let's see. Endure, Trade, Glacial Blast, and Debilitate, and Pierce. Okay, here we go, folks. The final demon I need for 100% completion of the Compendium.
Are you sure?
Endure, Trade, Glacial Blast, Debilitate, and let's see here.
Are you sure?
Alright, here we go. I am Shiva of the Fury Clan. I am at thy command.
Well done, my guest. At last, you have subjugated every species of demon in this land.
And yeah, not too shabby.
How incredible your power is.
Oh yeah, come on, lay it on me.
In commemoration of this incredible feat, we wish to offer you a special rate for summoning demons.
The demon summoning fee has been reduced. Yep, so now all my demons are now half price.
All right. Oh?
A Compendium compiler. Alright, so yeah, you need to actually look at the thing in order to get the trophy. Alright, well, I could just end the video here, but I'm not gonna.
Oh.
I'm gonna show you all the demons I got here, and yeah, we're just gonna read them off. From the very bottom all the way up to the tippy top. Starting off with Kodama. In Japanese mythology, they're spirits of plants. They're born from trees that live 100 years. Next up is Prita. They are hungry ghosts as they are unable to swallow food. This is a punishment in reincarnation. One with too many desires in life is doomed to spend time as a Prita. Shikigami. A common demon often used by Japanese sorcerers called onmyoji. They're used for many things, from common household chores to cursing others. Huapo. These tree spirits in Chinese mythology that are born when 3 or more people hang themselves from the same tree. They can't talk, though they can chirp like birds. They'll dry up if they don't receive water. Will-o-wisp. One of the more famous names for the mysterious lights seen over swamps. They're the souls of those who fail to go to the afterlife and instead wander in the wilderness, misleading travelers. Slimes. A primitive life form made of a jelly-like substance. Slime have no true origin, though they say these creatures enjoy collecting shiny objects. Like magpies. Zhen. A bird in Chinese mythology is said to have poison in its feathers because it eats poisonous snakes. Dipping a feather into wine will turn into a deadly poison, able to kill anyone with 1 drop. Moryul. Spirits of those who couldn't ascend to heaven in Japanese folklore. Some have evil intent, but they're fairly weak. Tatsueba. A demoness in Japanese mythology. She rips the clothes off those crossing the river Sansu who don't have the money to pay the boat fare. She then hangs them on the tree Iryuju to weigh their sin. And Jack Frost. Hee-ho. An elf-like creature who's the embodiment of all that's cool. It's said that he's the one who leaves those beautiful icy patterns on windows in the morning. Apsaras. Water spirits in Hindu mythology. They're beautiful young women who dance for the gods. Earthreus. The living embodiment of one of the 4 major elements. Earth. Duh. Coronazon. A demon that was summoned by a sorcerer named Crowley at the beginning of the 20th century. When he lost control of the demon, it possessed him. It's the last hurdle in conquering the dark side of the ego. Lilim. The children of Lilith. Like their mother, they have sex with men at night. Their legends spread to Greece where they're known as Impusae. Angel. 9th of the 9 orders of angels. The Watchers who never sleep. Among these are the guardian angels who are assigned to every human at birth. Sudama. Earth spirits in Japanese mythology. They're born from ancient trees and boulders. They're not evil, but will transform into humans or monsters to warn people not to infiltrate their mountains. Eros. A living embodiment of one of the 4 major elements, wind. Shisa. A mythical creature said to protect homes from evil. It's especially known in the Ryukyu Islands of Japan. Isora. A Japanese god of the seashore. He can control water. Bicorn. An evil creature that looks like a horse with 2 curving horns. Said to be the opposite of a Chichiviche. What is it? I don't know, whatever. High Pixie. A leader of the Pixies. Only Pixies with power, charisma, and that special something are awarded this title. Aquans. Yeah, it's water. The Blob. An infamous jelly-like monster. It swallows humans and grows. It's said the only way to stop blobs is to freeze them. Inugami. Spirits of dogs said to possess humans in Japanese folklore. Those possessed go crazy. Onmyoji or Japanese sorcerers summon them to do their will. Nozuchi. A Japanese earth spirit. It hides in the grass or in the shade. It's not evil, but it's a bit violent and may harm a human if it sees one. Yaka. Demons of disease in Sri Lankan mythology. Masks of them are made so that shamans can talk with them. They can be summoned and exorcised through ritual dancing while wearing the mask. Fomorian. Fomorians are Celtic giants of evil. Many are hideous-looking creatures like trolls. Led by Balor, they fend off invaders. Archangel. 8th of the 9 orders of angels. They're responsible for ministering to humans and delivering messages. They're at constant war with the fallen angels. Takiminakata. Revered as the god of hunting in Japanese mythology, he fought Takemikazuchi for possession of Japan and lost. Jack-o'-lantern. An Irish farmer who convinced the devil not to take him to hell, but since he was refused entry into heaven, he wanders the earth as a soul with a pumpkin for a head. Taraka. A female Vileta in Hindu mythology. In the Ramayana, Rama managed to cut off her arms, and even though she turned invisible, he was able to slay her. Fornius. One of the 72 demons of the Goeta. He appears as a great sea monster. He's skilled in languages and is a master of rhetoric. Chatter Skull. A creature of folklore from Dominica. It's a living skull that gives out a piercing laugh. It's said that the hearts of those who hear its laugh will immediately stop. Nekomata. Incarnations of long-living cats in Japanese mythology. They can speak to humans and, depending on their power, could do various things. Some can turn to humans, while others can have the dead do their bidding. Unicorn. A legendary white horse with a spiral horn on its forehead. It can only be tamed by a pure maiden. Its horn supposedly has miraculous healing capabilities. Flamus? Yeah, it's fire. A Momonofu, a god of war in Japanese mythology. He's the subordinate of another ancient god, Arabaki. It's said that Momotaro, a legendary hero, was based off of him. Babkatha, the Celtic goddess of war. She often assumes the form of a crow. As such, her name means battle crow. She's part of the war goddess triad. She would take part in battle as well as use her magic to confuse soldiers. Kopa Tengu, a smaller member of the Tengu race with less power than other Tengu. It's believed to be an incarnation of an old wolf and capable of eventually transforming into Karasu Tengu. Ami no Uzume, a goddess of entertainment. Her name means the terrifying female of heaven. She's famous for luring Amaterasu out of hiding with her seductive dancing. Her husband is Sarutsuhiko. Makami, a divine beast in Japanese mythology. They're often used to ward off evil, especially thefts of fire. There's also believed that it eats people. Wolves could become Makami. Kikuri Hime, the goddess of life in Japanese mythology. She once mediated between Izanagi and Izanami during their confrontation in Yomi, the land of the dead. Raiju, Japanese mythical creatures said to fall to the earth along with thunder. They usually run through the clouds, but come down riding on lightning. They're said to resemble weasels. Yeah, definitely looks like a weasel, huh? Incubus, a male demon of popular European folklore during the medieval ages. They visit women in their sleep and have sexual intercourse with them. The offspring resulting from this will become witches and wizards. Oni, a common demon in Japanese mythology. A powerful red creature with a horn on its head that attacks villages with its iron club and plunders food, riches, and women. Aramitama, one of the four aspects of the human soul, as described in Shinto teachings, is associated with aggressiveness. Shanwu, or Gembu, one of the Shuling, the celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction north, the season winter, and element water. And Kelpie. The Kelpie is an evil water demon that lurks in lakes and rivers. If a traveler stops by a lake to rest and sees a horse grazing, it may be a Kelpie. Trying to mount the horse will only result in the traveler ending up in the lake. Dis, goddess of fertility in Scandinavian mythology. Aesir, Vanir, and the Valkyrie are usually considered Disir, plural Dis. Senri, a Japanese monster born from a lynx. It absorbs spirits from men by transforming into a beautiful woman. It's said that other monsters collect spirits to become a Senri. And Jizai. It's said that this mythical creature of Chinese mythology can see through lies, and with its horn, gores a liar. And yeah, I apologize for the Chinese pronunciations here. I can pronounce Japanese names just fine. Chinese, on the other hand, Black Ooze. A mass of malevolent intent and emotion that failed to become a true demon. All it does is eat, prey, and grow. Pisaka, a type of demon in Hindu mythology that arises from the vices of men such as criminals, drunkards, and adulterers. It enters through an opening in the body and influences his host's actions. Principality, the seventh of the 9 orders of angels. They're the guardians of cities and nations as well as the protectors of various religions. Zochuten. Zochuten, protector of the south, is one of the 4 heavenly kings in Buddhist mythology. Eligor, one of the 72 demons of the Goeta. It looks like a knight and has the power to see things to come. He also knows much about wars. Nue, a legendary monster in Japanese mythology. It has the head of a monkey, the arms and legs of a tiger, and the tail of a snake. It was first discovered hidden in a black cloud as it attacked an emperor's palace. Naga, half snake, half human, they're divine beings in Hindu mythology. They're worshipped as bringers of fertility. Karasu Tengu, a member of the Tengu race in Japanese mythology. It's said to have a beak like that of a crow, and attempts to corrupt people by haunting them. Negibitama, one of the 4 aspects of the human soul as described in Shinto teachings. It's associated with gentleness. Yomitsu Shikome, a demoness in Japanese mythology that lives in Yomi, the netherworld. She's the first demon Izanami sends after Izanagi. Baphomet, an idol commonly worshipped by the Knights Templar. It's a demon with the head of a goat. This idol later became the idol of worship for witches as well. Power, the 6th of the 9 orders of angels. It's said that they were the first order to be created. Their duty is to protect the souls of humans from demons. Sarasvati, in Hindu mythology, she's the goddess of rivers and a patroness of speech, writing, and learning, and of the arts and sciences. Brahma is her husband. Matador, a Spanish death god born for the pursuit of aesthetics and slaughtering. With his terrifying espada, he now preys on humans rather than bulls. And Kushimitama, one of the 4 aspects of the human soul as described in Shinto teachings. and said to bring good luck in the areas of health and medicine. Valkyrie. Choosers of the slain in Norse mythology. Armed with shining armor and spears, they look for the brave to take to Valhalla so they may fight in Ragnarok. Sarutahiko. During the descent of the gods to Earth, he was the first to welcome them. Later, he married Amino Uzume. Sakimitama. One of the 4 aspects of the human soul is described in Shinto teachings, and said to bring good luck in hunting and fishing. Kumokuten. The protector of the West is one of the 4 heavenly kings of Buddhist origin. Orthros. The 2-headed pet dog belonging to the giant Geryon in Greek mythology. He guarded a herd of red oxen and fought Hercules. Heracles, whatever. Succubus. A female demon in popular European folklore during the medieval ages. They visit men in their sleep and have sexual intercourse with them. The victims don't wake up during sex, but may have a dream about it. Rajanaga. The king of the serpent people in Hindu mythology. He's the largest of all those that live in the ocean. Mizuchi. A water spirit in Japanese mythology. It appears around lakes full of fish. It has the ability to use illusions to trick its enemies. Birith. One of the 72 demons of the Goeta, he rides a gigantic horse and burns those without manners. He's the Duke of Hell. Troll. An ugly, violent giant of Scandinavian myth. It's often portrayed as a creature that lives under bridges. It's incredibly strong, but easily outsmarted. Zuxiu, or Suzaku. One of the Zhuling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction south, the season summer, and the element fire. It's commonly compared to the phoenix of Western mythology. Daisojo. A monk who died while fasting for the sake of people. Because of his spiritual power, his body continues to exist without rotting. It's said that he will appear in front of people on the day of salvation. Kurama Tengu. A member of the Tengu race in Japanese mythology. They are the most powerful and popular of all Tengu. They have the power to fend off evil spirits and attract good luck. Okuninushi. A terrestrial deity and descendant of Susanoo. He's an important god in Japanese Izumo mythology. He's a peaceful god who prefers not to fight. Horus. An ancient god of Egypt whose eyes are the sun and moon. He is revered by some as the principal god, and is often depicted as a hawk or a falcon. But yeah, Warhammer 40k fans would know him as fucking Horus! Anyways, Virtue. The 5th of the 9 orders of angels. They're known as the Shining Ones. They work miracles to support those struggling with their faith. Ongkot. A monkey god in Hindu mythology. He's the general of Ranuman's army, and the Ramakian Thailand's national epic. It's written that he fought with a giant and freed her from its curse. Kushinada. Kushinada Hime is a goddess in Japanese mythology, and when she was human, she was saved from the 8-headed serpent Yamata no Orochi by the storm god Susanoo, whom she wedded. Phantom. A common type of ghost seen in Western cultures. They're apparitions made up of the negative emotions of people. Yaksini. Semi-divine beings in Hindu mythology. They're the female equivalent of Yaksas. They're followers of Kubera, the god of wealth, and have come to respect wealth themselves. Hellbiker. A biker turned fiend that claims to come from hell. With an intense hatred of himself and the world, his reliance solely on his own power turned him into this abominable figure. Yomitsu Ikusa. Demons in Japanese mythology said to have lived in Yomi, the netherworld. They're the army that Izanami sends under Izanagi. Baihyo, or Byako. One of the Zhuling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the direction west, the season autumn, and the element metal. Queen Long, or Seiryu. One of the Zhuling celestial creatures in Chinese mythology. It represents the season east, the direction east, the season spring, and the element wood. Pazuzu. The king of the desert in Mesopotamian mythology. He has the wings of an eagle, arms and legs of a lion, and the tail of a scorpion. It's said that the disease he brings with him cannot be cured. Dionysus. The Greek god of wine and orgies. He had 2 perps. When his mother died while pregnant with him, Zeus took the premature infant and let him mature to proper birth in his thigh. Oberon. The king of fairies whose wife is Titania. As a child, a curse was placed on him, and he hasn't grown any larger since. Sagahagi. An evil mannequin that was reborn, called back into the world by the afterlife bell. Because of his doings in his previous life, he's gained new powers. Kaiwan. A god of Assyrian mythology. He's associated with the planet Saturn. Usually he's grouped with another god, Sakrut. Ose. One of the 72 demons of the Goeta. He's known as the Great President of Hell. He can shapeshift from a leopard into a man. He imparts wisdom through the sciences and reveals the truth about divine mysteries. Satanta, a brave young man in Celtic myth. After defeating a fierce guard dog, he volunteered to take its place, thus earning himself the nickname Shulan's Hound. Jinn, a spirit in Arabic mythology that grants its summoner powers. Commonly known as a genie, it can transform itself into a human or animal to influence others. Takemikazuchi, the god of thunder in Japanese mythology. He carries the divine sword Tokusa no Tsurugi and is said to be the founder of ancient sumo wrestling. Yatagarasu, a divine creature in Japanese mythology. There are three-legged ravens that Amaterasu sent to help humans, and it's said that they helped Emperor Jinbu claim victory. Atabaka, originally a child-eating demon, one of the 8 attendants of Bishamonten, he was converted by Buddha and became a protector to Yaksa. Southwest is the direction he protects. Hanuman, a hero of Hindu descent. He can transform into anything, fly, and has great strength. He performed many heroic deeds in Ramayana. He's depicted as a monkey. Legion, the spirit who said, "For we are many," in ancient scriptures. The name comes from the Roman military term for an army unit of 3,000 to 6,000 men. Legion. Ave, true to Kaiser. Titan, the children of Gaia and Uranus in Greek mythology. They ruled the land as gods before the Olympians overthrew them. And then they tried to come back, and then things got complicated with Jaeger Bombastic, but that's a whole other story. Arabaki, a major deity in Japanese mythology. Clay dolls were often sculpted in his image. Because this god was worshipped by a rebel, the dolls came to be considered symbols of defiance. Dominion, the fourth of the 9 orders of angels. Their duty is to oversee the other angels. It's said that the success or failure of a nation is decreed by this order. Sati, Shiva's first consort in Hindu mythology. She threw herself into a sacrificial fire and protested her father's mistreatment of Shiva. Reincarnated as Parvati, she's reunited with Shiva. Shushulan, a legendary hero in Celtic folklore. His name means Shulan's Hound, and his true name is Satanta. There are many tales of his exciting adventures with his spear Galebog. And, Lancer! Hi there! You poor schmuck. Shadow. It can transform into any person it sees, and it's said that whomsoever meets it will die within a few days, and much folklore stems from this creature. They may also become physical incarnations of psychological ailments. I am the Shadow, the true self. Yeah. Dakini. Divine beings found in Tibetan and Buddhist doctrines. Their name means she who traverses the sky. And it's said that they serve the Indian mother goddess Kali and carry the souls of the dead to the sky. Ifrit. A spirit in Arabic mythology that can control fire. It's said that it will do its summoner's bidding, but will burn those it doesn't like to ashes. Pulukishi. In Hindu mythology, he's a god with an elephant's head and a third eye on his forehead. Although his looks suggest Ganesha's influence, he's thought to have originally been a local god of Tibet. And Chikokuten. Of Buddhist origin, Chikokuten is one of the 4 heavenly kings that protects the East. He's also known as Dhritarashtra. Is that right? I'm sorry if it's wrong. Loa. A group of divinities worshipped in voodoo religion. They control forces of nature and influence human activities. Some also have powerful magic which they use to curse others. White Rider. One of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a white horse and carries a bow. He was given a crown and is bent on conquest. Shikioji. A powerful creature often summoned by Japanese sorcerers called Onmyoji. They are used to both hurt and to heal, but their true nature is said to be very violent. Kiten Desheng, or Satan Taisei. Was supposedly born from a rock. He wreaked havoc throughout the land and was punished by Buddha, but was eventually saved by a monk named Tianzanzang. Or also known as Sun Wukong or Sun Goku. Yeah, basically you have this guy to go and thank for Dragon Ball. To make a long story short. Anyways, Loki. A major deity in Norse mythology. He's known as a trickster and has had clashes with the other gods. He's a blood brother of Odin, but later was involved in the death of Odin's son Baldur and was punished. Quetzalcoatl. One of the 4 major deities of Aztecian mythology. He's called the Feathered Serpent. He created humans by sprinkling blood on the bones of people from a previously created world. Suparna. A legendary bird in Hindu mythology. Its name means one with beautiful wings. It can create wind by flapping its wings and can change its size at will. Titania. Queen of the fairies and wife of Oberon. She's revered from Diana. Derived from Diana in Roman mythology and is immortalized in Shakespeare's play *A Midsummer Night's Dream*. Chimera. The offspring of Typhon and Echidna, this monster in Greek mythology is part lion, part goat, and part dragon. Although it looks more like part snake, but whatever. Parvati. This beautiful goddess of love is one of Shiva's wives in Hindu mythology. She won Shiva's love, despite the fact that he was an ascetic. Wait. Ascetic? Whatever. Red Rider. One of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a red horse and wields a great sword. He has the power to disrupt peace and drive men to fight against each other. Kirimakala. A giant elephant monster of Sri Lankan mythology. It's typically portrayed as being ridden by Mara, the evil one. Whoever said to look into its evil eye is said to be met with misfortune. Clotho. One of the 3 Moirai sisters in Greek mythology. She's a spinner of the threads of fate. Decabria. One of the 72 demons of the Goeta. He comes in the shape of a star and has a vast knowledge of herbs and jewels. He can also control birds at will. Lakshmi. In Hindu mythology, she is the goddess of beauty and good fortune. She's the wife of Vishnu and the mother of Kama, the god of love. It's believed that she was born from the froth of an ocean of milk. Amaterasu. The Japanese sun goddess who rules over the high plane of heaven. Her name means she who illuminates the heavens. She was born from Izanagi's left eye. Ganesha. The elephant-headed god in Hindu mythology. He was originally created by Parvati out of dirt to prevent anyone from watching her bathe. Shiva knocked his head off, but replaced it with an elephant's head. Kinki. One of the 4 Oni Chikata Fujiwara was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. His body was so tough, swords and arrows bounced off of him. Gog Magog. A giant said to have lived in ancient England. It's said that he could rip a tree from its roots as easily as an ordinary man could rip a vegetable from the ground. He battled fiercely against Quirinius, the legendary hero of Cornwall. Mothman. A mysterious, unidentified being that was spotted in... Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, Mothman. A mysterious, unidentified being that was spotted in West Virginia around the 1960s. It was regarded as a parody of a popular superhero at the time. Never knew that. Queen Mabe. The Queen of Fairies stemming from Celtic mythology. She's often seen as one and the same as Titania, Oberon's wife. She would give mead mixed with her blood to her many consorts. Yummy. Cerberus. The feared guard dog of Hades in Greek mythology. His parents were the giants Typhon and Echidna. He's a brother of Orthrus. And yeah, tradition states that, well, yeah, he's usually depicted as a 3-headed dog, but 9 times out of 10 in Megami Tensei, he's depicted as a white lion. I don't know why, but it's just stuck like that. Yeah, the only other times I've seen Cerberus with 3 heads is some forms in like the Devil Summoner series, Strange Journey, let's see, Persona 3, and Digital Devil Saga. Anyway, Bido Xingjun. According to Chinese mythology, Bido Xingjun, or Wise Man of the North Star, determines the moment one is born. But you are already dead. How could you know what's going to be birthed? I lost it. Suiki. One of the 4 Oni Chikata Fujiwara was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. He could cause floods with the swing of his arms. Black Rider. One of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a black horse and holds the scale in his hands. He causes famine, starving people to death, but leaves the luxuries intact. Garuda. A divine birdman in Hindu mythology. He hunts nagas as a result of a dispute between their mothers. He fought with the gods once, but was granted immortality in exchange for becoming Vishnu's carrier. And Vitala. A type of Preta in Hindu and Buddhist mythology, classified as powerful ghosts. They come in different shapes and forms. Some are skinny, some are fat, some are tall, some are short. They can control the dead and eat humans. Lachesis. One of the 3 Moirai sisters of Greek mythology. She's the apparitioner, measuring the thread which determines each person's lifespan. Apparitioner, whatever. Albion. The ruler of ancient Britain. He's the first giant of Britain. It's said that he was born from Amphitrite, the wife of Poseidon. Aphrodite, these names are killing me, or Gurulu, a demon that takes the shape of a giant bird in Sri Lankan mythology. It's rumored to be a derivation of Garuda. Barong, a mystical creature in Balinese legend. It represents good and is Ranga's eternal rival. Even if defeated, it'll be reborn. The result is a never-ending struggle. Pale Rider, one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. He rides on a pale horse and Hades follows behind him. Daode, a monster feared in Chinese mythology. This gargoyle-like creature has a never-ending appetite that allows it to eat anything it sees. It's come to represent greed. Odin. In Norse mythology, he's the god of wisdom and father of the gods. He rides Sleipnir, his 8-legged horse, while carrying his spear, Gungnir, and wearing his ring, Drupnir. Yerlinger. In Oceanic folklore, he's a giant copper python. He's known as the Rainbow Serpent because the water in the well he lives in shines like a rainbow. Futomimi. A good mannequin that was reborn, called back into the world by the Afterlife Bell. Because of his doings in the previous life, he's gained new powers. Fuki. One of the 4 Oni Chikata Fujiwara is said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. He could control the winds and blow all his enemies away. Throne. The 3rd of the 9 orders of angels. They're charioteers who have 4 wings and 4 heads. They're the angels of knowledge. Flauros. One of the 72 demons of the Goethe. He appears as a leopard that can see the past and future. He can control fire and burn all his adversaries to death. Kali. According to Hindu mythology, she's a consort of Shiva. Also known as the Black One, she is a symbol of destruction. She is typically depicted as a fearsome figure wearing a chain of human heads. Skata. A great warrior and prophetess of Celtic mythology, also known as the Shadowy One. She taught Shushu in martial arts and gave him his famous spear, Gaibog. His sister is Aifi. Did I pronounce it right? Black Frost. A Jack Frost that wished for evil powers. He wandered the Vortex world gaining power until he finally achieved his goal. He may look cute, but he's in fact quite dangerous. Atropos. One of the 3 warrior sisters of Greek mythology. She cuts the life threads of those whose time has come. Nyx. The goddess of the night in Greek mythology. She was born out of chaos and gave birth to many offspring, including Light, Aether, Day, Hemera, Death, Thanatos, and the Warrior Sisters. Mother Harlot. Also known as the Whore of Babylon, riding a beast of 7 heads and 10 horns. She carries a golden cup filled with abominations and the filth of her axe. Otherwise known as Bud American Ale. Uriel. One of the 4 major archangels. His name means Flame of God. He knows all the celestial phenomena. He's also the first angel Satan met on Earth. Abaddon. The destroyer and angel of the bottomless pit, as described in ancient scriptures. He controls locusts and with them causes massive destruction to villages. Bishamonten. The strongest of the 4 heavenly kings. Also known as Tamonten and in Buddhist mythology, Vashravana. He protects the north and is the god of war. Surt. A fire giant in Norse mythology. He rules the realm of fire, Muspelheim, and brandishes a sword of fire. At Ragnarok, he'll set the world ablaze. Samael. A mysterious angel with the name Poison of God. He's often depicted as a serpent. There are some theories that he is a fallen angel, but some say he's still an angel. Either way, he's associated with death. Hrisvigler. Oh boy, again these names. Hrisvigler. A giant eagle in Norse mythology who lives at the top of Yggdrasil. One flap of his wings can create storms. He's always fighting with Nidhogg, the giant serpent at the bottom of the tree. Skadi. A giant is called the snowshoe goddess. She is the embodiment of winter. According to legend, all the gods will return to her at the end of Ragnarok. Rangda. The wicked witch of Balinese lore. She represents evil and is Barong's eternal rival. Even if she's defeated, she'll come back to life. Their battle has no end. Asiel. According to the mystic Cornelius Agrippa, he's the prince of Gehenna, one of the 7 levels of hell. His name means the son of night. He's commonly seen as one and the same with Abaddon and Satan. Thor. In Norse mythology, he's the son of Odin and the god of thunder. He wears the belt Meiningard, which doubles his strength. Lightning flashes whenever he throws his hammer, Mjolnir. Trumpeter. An angel that's said to be the one who sound. An angel said to be the one to sound the. An angel that's said to be the one to sound the trumpet at the end of the. An angel that's said to be the one to sound the trumpet at the time of the apocalypse. As each trumpet sounds, more and more plagues and disasters will occur. turning the earth into a land of death and suffering. Pixie. In English mythology, they're fairies of the forest that love to play tricks on people. They can also be hard workers when necessary. Mitra. An ancient Iranian god of contracts. He's also worshipped as the sun god. At the end of time, he'll descend from the heavens and raise the dead for final judgment. Lilith. She's said to have been Adam's first wife. Refusing to obey Adam, she left Eden and became a demon of the night. There are several theories of her leaving and fall, and they all depict her as unfaithful. Ongyoki. One of the 4 Oni Chikata Fujiwara was said to have controlled during the Heian period of Japan. He had the power to disappear and make images of himself, leading people to believe that he's the originator of ninjutsu. Raidou. To the public, he's merely a detective for the Narumi Detective Agency. To the underworld, he's Raidou Kozunoa the 14th, a devil summoner who protects the capital under the Herald of Yatagarasu's orders. His partner is a black cat named Gouto. Mada, a god in Hindu mythology, created by the sage Chiavana. His name means intoxication. He's said to be able to grow so big he can swallow all the other gods. Beelzebub, a lord of the flies and the prince of evil. He's Satan's right-hand man. He uses flies to carry souls of the dead. It's said that he's a derivation of the Canaanite god Baal, as in the Baal Avatar. Anyways, Raphael, one of the 4 major archangels. His name means healer. He explains the history of the fallen angels and the creation of Adam and Eve. Gabriel, one of the 4 major archangels. She's the only female angel of this rank. Her name comes from the Sumerian word for governor. Mot, the Canaanite god of death. Every year he attempts to kill Baal, the god of fertility, only to see him raised from the dead with the help of Baal's sister, Anat. Michael, one of the 4 major archangels. His name means, who is like God. He stands at the top of the angel hierarchy. He carries an unusually long sword that could cut through anything. Vishnu, one of the major gods in Indian mythology. He's the preserver of the universe. It's believed that he'll descend to Earth 10 times to maintain the balance of power. Metatron, one of the most important angels in the hierarchy, yet the most mysterious. He's the scribe and advocate of heaven. And finally, Shiva, one of the triad of main deities in Hindu mythology. He's known as the Destroyer, but also related to regeneration. His wife is Parvati. And finally, Beelzebub Flyborn, the Lord of the Flies and the Prince of Evil. He's Satan's right-hand man. He uses flies to carry souls of the dead, and he said that he's the derivation of the Canaanite god Baal. Alright, yep, with Shiva. And yeah, from games onward, you can fuse Shiva with Parvati in order to create a brand new demon. Let's see, what was it that they get fused into again? Yeah, anyways, yeah. Well, yeah, I would try to fuse them here, but then again, they didn't think to go and use that fusion trick yet. Let's see, Shiva and Parvati. Let's see. Let's see, it's right here somewhere. Oh yeah, they fuse Shiva with Parvati to create Ardha. Alright, anyways.
Alright. Alright. However. Oh, alright. Oh, alright.
And yeah, just so you know, this little discount carries over to New Game Plus. Alright, so, yeah. I've still got quite a bit of grinding to do, but I wanted you all to be there so that so that I can unlock this trophy. Alright, so, yep, next time we're going to be, I'm still going to be continuing to grind a little bit and then continue onwards to, we're going to face Kagutsuchi. So, till next time, folks, this is David on David's Brain. Stay inside, stay safe, wear a mask, and get vaccinated if you can. Bye-bye!